Hello everyone, and welcome to my British Royal Family official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Lord Charles is famous for his cozy relationship with his niece Zara Tindall. A non-verbal communication master only investigated their relationship for express.co.uk. Zara Tindall, 42, was brought into the world on May 15, 1981. She is the second and most youthful offspring of Princess Anne and her ex-chief imprint Phillips. She was dedicated on July 27, 1981, at Windsor Palace. Her most memorable name was proposed by her uncle Lord Charles, the then sovereign of Grains. This goes a viable approach to making sense of the cozy connection among Zara and Charles that has obviously endured more than 40 years. Judy James, a non-verbal communication master, talked solely to express.co.uk to dissect the uncle-niece team's relationship. She asserted, "One of the best and most straightforward connections in the regal family is by all accounts the one among Charles and his niece Zara. Not at all like a significant number of individuals in the ruler's life, Zara appears to treat her uncle with unfiltered affection, and he appears to answer in kind. Their displays of affection in public are unbelievable, and the non-verbal communication signals recommend they are constantly driven by Zara, who appears to be untroubled by convention, status, or even Charles' standard evasion of any touch customs in open that go past a handshake. She seems purely eager to demonstrate to everyone how determined she is to hug this sometimes alone and reflective man." Judy developed Zara's character and why she can be so material with the ruler of the unified realm. The non-verbal communication master believed, "Zara is probably the most touchable member of the royal family. She is able to create these moments of close proximity, eye contact, and tender touch like hugs or kisses on the cheek because of her confidence and total lack of shyness or wariness. She will generally play the more prevailing job as well, snaring an arm around Charles' shoulders or neck and treating him more like an uncle needing some careful attention than a main ruler regard." Judy suggests that Charles is delighted by the fact that Zara initiates her hugs with the king. She asserted, "Charles' reactions are continuously fascinating. He is by all accounts shocked yet additionally charmed by Zara's all the more precipitously cherishing presentations, and will frequently respond the embrace or return the eye-to-eye connection and grin in a somewhat more reserved yet obviously blissful way. These signals of approval are important because Zara and Mike's body language is often playful and spontaneous, but they also know how to avoid going over the line. They really do have a channel and they know how and when to utilize it." Zara would likewise show friendship to the late sovereign out in the open, yet she was substantially less definite and utilized alternate ways than contact to get that fondness across. With Charles updating from sovereign to lord, Zara could have wanted to likewise restrain a portion of her customs. However, Charles' own signs of calm endorsement have plainly told her that it's the same old thing with regards to PDAs since her uncle's royal celebration. The senior working royals' social event at Balmoral denoted whenever they first have met at the late sovereign's darling home since her passing. On Sunday, members of the royal family gathered at Balmoral Castle, where Princess Kate gave a touching tribute to the late Queen Elizabeth II. The Princess of Ribs was snapped in the vehicle with her significant other ruler ridges and shamed illustrious Sovereign Andrew as the gathering made a beeline for the palace in the Scottish Good Countries. They met other senior royals here for the primary summer gathering since the late sovereign's passing. In a sweet recognition, Kate was wearing an earthy-coloured plaid coat and brilliant padded fedora cap, and was wearing natural tones of brown, green, red, and blue to check the event. In keeping with the castle's Scottish past, the jacket featured a distinctive Balmoral tartan design. Visit Daily Express US for the most recent news, politics, sports, and showbiz from the United States. She also wore braids through her glossy brunette locks in a low chin and bun. It was seen that all of the senior working royals went to church for the traditional morning service. King Charles and Queen Camilla, as well as the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh, Sophie and Edward, are among the other senior royals present at the event. Princess Anne and Vice Admiral Sir Tim Lawrence, her husband, were with them. Additionally envisioned going to Crathie Kirk Church was woman Susan Hussey, the late sovereign's woman in pausing and quite possibly of her nearest partner. The gathering marks whenever the Windsors first have met up at the late sovereign's dearest Scottish bequest. The Queen passed away on September 8, 2022, at Balmoral Castle. The domain, which was the late sovereign's #1 imperial home, is situated in illustrious Deeside, Aberdeenshire. This mid-year points whenever the regal family first will spend their mid-year occasions in Balmoral without the late ruler. The Prince and Princess of Wales and their 3 children, as well as the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh, spent time with her at the castle during her final days. The King has made the decision to honour his late mother by spending 3 weeks at the Scottish residence on the anniversary of her death. The Duchess of York talked genuinely about her and attractive ruler Andrew's big day. Sarah Ferguson has opened up about the day she married her handsome Prince Andrew, which she described as one of the happiest days of her life. The 63-year-old woman told her podcast listeners that the day she said, "I do" to the Duke of York in 1986, she was totally in love. In spite of isolating in 1992 and separating from 4 years after the fact, Fergie has stayed friendly with her ex, with the previous couple actually living respectively at Illustrious Hotel on the Windsor domain. She has stated that they are still enjoying each other's company and allowing each other to blossom, adding that they are the happiest divorced couple in the world. Talking on the most recent episode of her digital broadcast, Tea Talks with the Duchess and Sarah, the grandma of 4 said the day permitted her to have her own Cinderella second. The Duchess wore a satin gown by Linda Searich on her big day, when 2,000 people came to Westminster Abbey. She also wore the York tiara, which was given to her by the late Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip. Fergie recalled one of the best days of her life, saying, "In 1986, the country halted and took an occasion on July 23 for the rancher's little girl going up the path with an unprecedented headband given by Her Highness, which had gardenias drifting the entire way through it so you could see shines yet you were unable to see the headdress. Isn't it truly an extraordinary Cinderella tale? Although I had a wonderful life on the farm, I wasn't exactly milking the cows. My father still farmed. Of course, I absolutely was totally in love with my handsome prince." Before she met Andrew, the Duchess embraced a course at Sovereign's Secretarial School in Kensington. She worked in PR prior to joining a craftsmanship exhibition where she would endure 45 minutes driving to work by means of transport or bicycle. She proceeded, "The handsome prince was at the top of Westminster Abbey wearing his full naval uniform, and the nation stopped as I climbed it. Westminster Monastery was only swirling with conviction." Fergie said she had faith in what she was doing on that day. That was one of the best days of my life, adding, "It was, in my opinion, a remarkable time period." Albeit like each lady of the hour, she said she was anxious. She portrayed that it was so astounding to have individuals calling out to her in the roads the night prior to her wedding. She continued, "Like each lady is generally apprehensive. I don't have any idea why. When I descended the steps from Clarence House, where I went through the prior night, everybody is going Fergie, Fergie, in the city. My father was at the bottom of the stairs when I went down them. It was one of those minutes. I was watching Cinderella with the young ladies a few days ago. Ella charmed. That's what I did. Dad was at the bottom when I had that moment." Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.